Good morning, Mr. Amaninder. So, welcoming everyone. Thank you, Satish. Welcoming everyone who has joined us through Zoom, and they are also joining us or seeing the session, attending the session from Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, where we are also live. Myself, Swati Sinha, welcoming you all to this very interesting session. I am myself very curious to know about this new tech in pharma thing. For pharma, it could be new, but it is very old. So the topic, as you all may have seen, is use of QR code for doctors and patients engagement by pharmaceutical industry. Welcome, Mr. Ghosh, and we'll start in a few minutes now. For this topic, it was suggested to us, first of all, let me tell you, it was suggested to us through few feedback also that bring a topic related to some tech part, what can be done in marketing and all. And since we had very good speakers related to this topic, we quickly latched on to the topic and to the speakers on this topic of QR code. So we bring to you this session on QR code. But at the start itself, want a quick response on the full form of QR code. Can you write down in chat box what is the full form of QR code? A very quick response I want. Anyone who knows? Right. So Mr. Rajesh and Mr. Amaninder, thank you. So it is quick response QR code. The full form is quick response. So thank you for participating here. And since this is a shorter session of the format 1 hour plus 10 minutes that we would maximally go to, I'll right away introduce the speakers who would be talking about this interesting topic for us today. So we have Mr. Pawan Kulkarni. He's a good friend and marketing enthusiast with a mixed bag of experience in sales, advertising, and marketing for 20 plus years. He has been launching and handling large brands and portfolios across therapies. He has also authored articles in Medical Dialogues and ET Health World, and he is currently working as General Manager, Corporate Strategy. Welcome, Mr. Pawan Kulkarni. And the second speaker for today is Mr. Sourav Das. He is the founder of MyRx, our collaborative partner in tech with PharmaState Academy. He has worked in TCS, in Infosys in various roles, and he has been on innovative project management executive with over several years of experience in healthcare IT industry, including business analysis and operations. His exceptional communication skills demonstrated by the ability to interact effectively with all organizational levels across all departments. Strong business acumen developed through experience in both provider and payer environments with a focus on business development strategies, proven ability to drive results through excellent organizational skills, as well as proven ability in leading teams. So both of them, you will see bringing in their experiences, their knowledge on this topic, and let us see what we have in store today on this topic. And also with us is Vivek sir. Welcome, Vivek sir, our chief mentor.
Welcome.
So we start with Mr. Pawan sharing with us his knowledge, his experience on this topic. Pawan, over to you.
Hey, great. Very good morning. First of all, hi Sourav, hi Vivek sir, Satish, Swati. Thanks for having this very interesting topic. I think 15 days back there was a post which went, of Satish and some people, and very interesting thoughts. Now, QR code is something which I think practically everyone in the audience, everyone is using. Basically because to pay somebody, the micro payments which are going on with demonetization and states like that. But there is a lot to it if we really dig deeper. So that was something of an interesting which I had been following since that first page ad after the demonetization of ATM came on the in the Times of India, and And there was almost, like I was told, almost 700 to 800% rise in download of ATM. So that is how many of the things, QR code started. But there is a lot of science which I think very easy to understand and very creative ways to utilize. So I've just tried to compile some of the stats. I'm talking more on statistics. I have Sourav here is much a bigger expert in this domain. So I leave that to him to cover certain, aspects. Now, I think many of us are easily, just hold on. Sorry. Yeah. So I think many of us are very used to this on a day-to-day basis. I think probably we are using this more common than our emails, right? So this is something which is on WhatsApp, which we day in and day out do it. So this is very easy for us today, and that is possible only because of a QR code. Now, how all this started? So let me go a little bit background. It started from a barcode to a URL to a QR code. Barcode basically was started in 1948. It's a very old. It had certain limitations in terms of storing the data, what kind of data and all. But there is a very interesting difference if you understand how these came into picture. Now, in 1994, after a long time, this was a person, Masahiro Hara from Denso Wave, which he came up with something called as a QR code, which had much more larger landscape of information to be stored. A very quick difference. I leave maximum of it to be told by Sourav because he is more an expert in this area. So basically, barcode is it goes in a three phase. That is a illuminator, converter, and decoder that you see in every shopping day. Shopping malls, or these days even the smaller brick and mortar stores also have these category of storing the information. So that is a barcode. This is a 1D. So this is a single dimensional and it goes by the length. It is captured by only the length. It has a limitation with the scanner and it has a limitation with the data of almost like 12 set of information which is stored. So this has been a practice, and this used to be stuck on a vehicles or anything just to scan and understand when was it manufactured and all certain limited data. But when it went much beyond, when the internet boom started and all, this QR code was a new thing which Denso Wave came up. And this was a waveform. Waveform means we normally have a perception that there are black dots and pixelated squares which are the codes. It's actually the reverse. The black dots are not the codes. There is a the camera, when you put it on it, whatever light is reflecting, so the white area is something which is actually the code. So there's a two-dimensional as well as 3D, mainly the 2D. So that is height and length. So there are fixed areas for it, which Sourav is covering. So it's a scanner image. It is not a code. It is an image which is being scanned. It can carry, this is very important, it can carry up to 4,000 characters with one small box. So much of information can be stored in it. So there are two types in it. One is static, once you do and complete it, and the other one is a dynamic code. So which can be changed now and then, but it still remains and takes you to the same landing page or the target response area. I'm just going to highlight a quick numbers and some statistics which, pharma or all of us should understand what is the relevance of it. So there are some highlighted points which I have kept in many of the slides. So these are the bullet points. So if you see, this is, I think, 2018-19 data, which was predicting certain amount of QR usage. In this, it said Southeast Asia and India will be the largest region to scan the QR codes. And I think it is happening now. This was in 2018-19. Now, some more interesting facts as of today. Now, don't go by the facts because, in digital world, every day the facts keep changing, right? But these are the signal or the, indicator pointers for us. Now, this is a worldwide data from Scanoa and QR Code Tiger, which are the leading research firms. So they say that 50% of smartphone users have scanned QR code some or the other time. 81% have seen the QR code, but only 21% knew it is called as a QR, right? So they have seen QR code. So this is a very interesting, this has a lot of Indians in that. 70% of scanners who used a QR code said it was very easy. This also means, it was easy, but these people don't have any opportunity to do more with it. So this is one of the insight which we have. So when they are saying 70% of people, they are saying, but they are not getting any opportunity. So this is something which as marketers, we have to see, where we can use these things. 41% of information they got through a QR code, they said was useful. This is a big number, right? And it all depends on what is the information you are giving after the scanning that makes more important. The most common spots were magazines and newspaper. I think today also one of the car companies had put a large ad with very less of copy. If you see, I just saw the Times of India, and one of the car brand has put a QR code and a very less copy, but they have given us a scanner. That's it. So that is how. 46% are curious scanners. Now imagine this and correlate to that with 70% scanners which said easy. 46% scanners are curious scanners. That means they want to be engaged, they want to get involved, they want to get attracted to, do something with that, but they are not getting opportunities. So they are the curious scanners. So this is a big this thing. Once and most important, which I pointed out, which I liked, is 1 in 5 who used a scanner, QR code scan, they made some or the other kind of purchase. So this is a very interesting fact. So these are some of the facts which I collected across the country, and how things would benefit, or what as marketers we take as an insight, right? So this was another important data which recently I found out. This is GWI, that is Global Web Index. This had done a survey related to India, almost around 25,000, which related to their behavior in terms of their perception, their mapping, in terms of their purchase habits and behaviors related to alcohol, beauty care, clothing, electronics, financial products, groceries, medicine, healthcare, luxury, household products, home furniture. So it is covering practically everything which we normally use. So what was their main agenda? In that, what they saw in their survey, this is just a behavior off track in terms of how Indians are. This is the white bar is a world average, and blue bar is a Indian average. Now, to see the largest bar on the social media, it says that 2 hours 39 minutes is the average time an Indian, whoever surveyed from 16 to 64 age group, on an average time they spend 2 hours 40 minutes on a social media, and rest all you can see in terms of what all are the data. So imagine, even being pharma, and that is why you will see a lot of advertisements or non-pharma advertisements. Especially I give this example of a car. When a car is launched, you see that in the front page, you go out, you see that a hoarding, you open a YouTube or anywhere on that day, you'll see that ad repeatedly on the same day. So that is how the media planning is being done. So that is where the marketers need to understand. So now what is the learning for us, in pharma? Imagine we also launch the brands. The biggest hurdle we find is today is getting the brand availability, getting the brand to reach to the doctors. We are highly dependent on the medical reps who are, at the most call around 10, 15 calls, or at the max, even the best of the medical reps, 20 calls a day. So how will you reach the doctors? So somewhere I feel this is the future which is defining, and this is 2021 data and applicable now, that all the pharma brands, some or the other way, have to be there on social media and online platforms to engage. This may not turn out right to the prescription, but yes, to engage and to remind. So this is digital is a new reminder card for the pharma. Most important, which I found in this study, was what are the mobile actions they take as compared to global and Indian average. Now, you see the percentage who say that what they have done the mobile action in the last month. Now, to see mobile video call or use a FaceTime, that is another app. Now, these two are more this thing which grabbed my eyeballs in terms out of all 28% of world average, Indians are scanning 44%. So it's almost like double. Now the same image recognition tool. Now this is even Sourav is having one of it, and I'll give one example at the end. So this is a kind. So this is where I shared one of the earlier data highlighted wherein India and Southeast Asia will be the highest, which was told in 2018 and 19. So this is where it is going. So QR code is a in thing, especially in India as compared to global average. So India, as per the population and the number of people on smartphones, will have an opportunity. And we as marketers, and especially in pharma, not just mainline agencies or mainline FMCG products, they have taken a lot of advanced steps in this. But yes, there is a lot to be done by them as well. And yet, pharma is still a laggard in this. So how well we can use. So let me come to some points. There's one more data which said that based through the QR code, what people are looking at. Through QR code, some maximum number of people are using it for product information. So this is the first hit. I think we all in pharma have a very good insight or a very good data which says that product information today, doctors or even patients, they prefer first as a digital rather than a physical copy. So instead of having those literatures, monographs and all, so can you compile? I'm not saying don't do the physical copies, but yes, have a backend of digital imprint. This is one. Event information, Navel offers, these were the one, but one which caught my eye was product information. So what happens? There was some research, using these codes, what happens? So it helps in getting good trust on the brand. It is when QR code is on the pack, it shows that there is more information to it, something more to it. That is a perception which consumers build. And when you see a QR code on a pack, that means you see that, you have that back of the mind subconscious impact that this product is very serious and something important is there. It also shows the reliability on your product. It also shows that the brand or the company which is associated is tech driven, and more important, through QR code. I told you the two types. One is a static and one is a dynamic. Now, if we have a dynamic QR code, you can have a real-time data. Now, some of the examples which I want to, Sourav was discussing with me in the morning, they were very interesting, and I love the way he gave some of these examples. So I leave that to him and how these real-time dynamics can help. But having said this, coming back not as a technical person, but as a marketer, we can all use QR code. Everything is free and all, which many of us are using. But the most important factor is all the QR code, all the tech, digital, everything depends on what is behind that QR scanning. Now, if something boring is there and nothing engaging, after the scanning is done, it goes off. I remember, I would like to quote here why I wrote the statement, because I think few months back, I got a product while on the field, and I saw it was some diuretic, some brand, I don't want to name. It had a toilet locator, QR scan, a toilet locator, very interesting. So I was in Prabhadevi in a medical store, and I just tried to scan that pack where it leads me. It was a toilet locator for a diuretic, it was a good patient friendly listing. So when I scanned it, the QR code took me, to a toilet, it located me a toilet near somewhere 50 kilometers away from Gwalior. So, so that was a very funny thing. I tried 2 or 3 times, it happened the same. So might be, these are some setbacks when you put a QR code and forget it, because digital keeps updating, and if you don't keep checking your QR also, you're addressing a patient in Bombay to go to a toilet in somewhere 50 kilometers small town in near Gwalior. So what happens after QR code is more important. Getting QR code is not important. So the back end thinking and marketing acumen makes a lot of difference. So many of things. I mean, before going, this is what the digital challenge. Now, etiology of digital challenge, which I feel, especially in India. I mean, speaking to 25, 30 of my senior friends and colleagues in the companies. Many of the Indian companies, this is the biggest problem. This is the biggest challenge. So I think many of you might hate me for saying this, but yes, this is a fact which I always get vibes. The decision makers are not tech savvy, and the tech savvy guys are not decision makers in a company. So anything related to digital QR and all gets stuck because somebody high in up will not understand what is the utilization, and those who understand, they don't have the power. So this is something which we need to overcome. So what is the solution of all this? Now, very quick solutions which I feel in terms one, anything you do here, what do you want to achieve, set that clear. So I'll give you some examples where some of the cases where they have mentioned very nicely what is a objective of this. And secondly, what is all the departments should be aligned. What is the purpose to drive, whether it is your product development, whether your marketing, whether your sales or P2P parties, whoever. I mean, if you want to print a pack example on the pack and keep updating your IT department, your content or landing pages and all. So content, what is a compulsory? It should be, it should become a part of your brand plan. It should become QR code should be a brand plan of your new product proposals or whatever you call in your companies. So it should be a part of your, so then the thinking orientation comes towards that. So everywhere, if you go deep, you will find some engaging content for using through QR code. Now, this is something very important in pharma, especially brand management category. Now, we have a typical habit of old school brand management thought. We do something and forget it. So digital is something which keeps, needs updating. So QR code is something when you are asking a patient or a doctor to come somewhere on the landing page, if those landing pages or those content pages are not updated, they get bored. So this is something which I would say at the root of it. Don't say, I don't believe that doctors or your patient don't want to get digital. Instead of pharma, instead of this thing, they are OTT. The same report which DWI, I would suggest you to read that, GWI, the Global Web Index. They are saying that how the things are improving even in older age, the digital engagement. So your consumers are shouting very silently to get engaged, but we in pharma, are we hearing it, or we are just pushing them to down their throat what we have? So that is a gap which we have. Some of the interesting facts which, now I'm coming to case studies, few more slides. This was one in COVID case, one of the hospitals in New York City, when they were coming in and out in the peak of lockdown. What they did, they have to have, US and many other countries, they have a proper format, data documentation. So what they did was, instead of a physical form, they shifted to QR code. So it was a complete contactless portal, wherein the patient or the visitors have to just fill it on their phone, and the doctor, the hospital gets the details of when was he in and when he was out. So this was a very important. So this was a time being. Another very important, this is a very old one, very brilliant case. We can use it in pharma a lot. Now, this is a glass of beer, which was Guinness beer is a very famous beer in Western world. So they had done very interesting glass. They had prepared a glass for, with a QR code. What happens? Now, I told about the objective. The Guinness wanted, their objective was to most talked out brand in the bars. Now, when they want their brand to be talked out in the bars, what they can do? So they made glasses, which is QR code based. Now, very interesting. this QR code showed up only when the same Guinness beer was poured. It was not shown when no other, some other brand was water or some other drink was poured. It was shown only clearly when their own Guinness beer was poured. So this simple, brilliant idea. And then when it was scanned, it went to Facebook status, tweet, invite friends to join them, and so many engaging activities. So this was a simple beer, this thing. Some of my thoughts when this was being discussed with Swati or Vivek sir and all, some of the brand benefit there in pharma, which I feel these are some of the ideas. I'm not giving detailed ideas, but you can pick these up. These are something which are very interesting. So suppose you have a tonic of cognitive or some children, chronic consumption purpose. So the common challenges here, mothers complain lack of adherence. So what we can do, use a QR code, and every time, on the pack, you have something interesting. It's just a rough idea. I'm just throwing, put some QR code, which leads the kids to go to brain games, cognitive improvement games, or something like, bedtime stories, some audio, video, something. So engaging to the kids. So every evening, the kid is asking the mother to, so this is just a rough idea, which I feel can be helpful for some of your brands who are handling. Tutorial engagement. Some of cup syrup brands, many of us are handling cup syrup brands, and this is something very interesting. Don't know cup syrup mein kya kare. There are same things which are there, same ingredient, same combination. So patients, this is something very important, which long time I had learned back. Patients don't know how to identify the cup. Now many of you know that the way we cup, it has a different meaning. Can't we do a QR code on the pack and audio or a video or something linking it to, and even if you cuff on the phone, it identifies the possibilities, or even if it doesn't identify your cuffing and identify your nature of cuff, but it can at least give information to go to doctor and all. So this is something where you can engage people. Some of other areas, diabeto, chronic medications, old age group. We always say we don't not well versed with using the mobile. So why can't we put an AI bot through QR code bridging and ask questions and answer, maintain healthy diet and all? It's an auto reply stuff which you can do at one time, and involve that with the brand, and even doctors would be happy. Diabetic cardio, you can give these kind of solution. Very quickly, infant milk substitutes. This is something which I was a medical rep, and I used to be all India #1 with Wockhardt when I was selling Dexolac and this thing. So how to engage mothers? The biggest challenge at that time we used to face was, if Dexolac 1 was taken, there was a high possibility that the mother, after 3 months, 6 months, they might move to some other brand, right? So that was a challenge. And that time when I was a medical rep, there was no mobile as well, right? So can we now do some involvement of tutorials to the mother, so that they hook in from 3 months to 6 months, they from formula 1, 2, 3, and the stages of formulas in all these brands, so they can so keep those mothers hooked up with the same brand. So these are some small of the ideas and all. So at the end, I just want to give one very brilliant idea. I don't know whether you guys have known this guy. His name is Pawan Kumar. He's a Kannada film director. And this was a brand, Kannada movie, I think a few years back, I think 5 or 6 years back he had launched. This was, I think, India's or maybe Canada's first crowd-funded movie. So he never invested himself, and there were around 250 producers contributing 5,000, 10,000, whatever amount. There is a very interesting case, a 1-hour lecture on IIT Madras on by him, how this was went. And he used something in this is image recognition. He never launched this movie. He never released this movie in theaters. He never promoted, but he made a big chunk of money. Now, how to promote this? Now, Lucia was a very psycho thriller movie, very interesting to watch as well. So what he did, he identified certain areas. He didn't have money to put in promotion on a TV or a newspaper or anywhere. So what he did, he used social media on his own platform, his own people, and asking them to keep resharing. And the best identification he did was, what is something which is common with everyone? He identified currency notes. So it was something like you scan a 10 rupee note, you can see the poster. You scan a 20 rupee note on your phone, and you can see the trailer. You scan a 50 rupee note, you can see the song. You scan a 100 rupee note, you can see the star cast or making of a movie. So this was very interesting a strategy, which I feel one of the brilliant ideas, which I always love listening to this guy. Very innovative, and with at no cost he did it. So this is something. And at the last, best way how to use QR code. This is my personal formula. It will be, if it is useful for all of you, please remember, I call it UP at MP. Remember this. So UP at MP, what is it? UP at MP is first is understand the process, add the tech, and then minimize the process. So don't try to complicate the process. So understand the process, to minimize it, add tech. And when you add tech of any kind, this can be integrated with QR. So this is my personal formula. Make it easy for end users and do not complicate. That's the final. So infinite uses, I keep this for Sourav. Some insights, quick. There is a very quick change in behavior of consumers, whether demonetization, GST, lockdown. People have accepted a lot of new things. Tracking and monitoring systems. So these are something, when you use a QR code, all the tracking and monitoring systems can be plugged between you and your actions. So for a simple reason, when you go to a restaurant, and these days in during lockdown, there was a QR code and all. Now, once many of you don't know, once you scan it and order something, the whole set of back-end tracking monitoring system can be put in between you and your food. And by this, your offline behavior can also be predictable. So this is where the advantage which you have so even if we don't like it, we are all doing it. So some of my last slide, this is something which we always spend unnecessarily. I think many of the companies spend in lakhs and crores together in pharma conferences, not knowing what is the outcome, what is a per rupee outcome or per doctor outcome. But here you can use QR code, something like, set up a Wi-Fi in your stall, give advertisements, session alerts, or a miss session alerts, and in the most rated sessions you can keep doing. So I think that is something which I have to say. This is a lengthy slide. I'll put it later on LinkedIn. You can refer. So thank you. Sorry, I have taken a little more time than what was fixed.
So Pawan, thank you so much, but you have not taken more time than what was fixed. I took the time at the start, so that is not a worry. But you gave a wonderful ideation presentation today, how to utilize this QR code thing. And I must say that we all got ideas also out of it, what not to do and what to do. So you told that what to do after scanning the QR code. I would also add to it, you can also tell patients, if they scan a QR code, what Absolutely. Not to do after taking a calcium tablet or taking a BP tablet. That is more important for the geriatric patients. So a lot of ideas could be there which could be integrated. So Pawan, thank you so much. We are missing few slides of yours, but I think if we have time later on, we can bring it again. Thank you so much. And before starting with Sourav's session today, Pawan, we will take the questions at the last. Will it be okay for you?
Done.
Yeah, thank you.
That is ideal.
Yeah. So for Sourav's session, I will request everyone to please keep your cameras or QR code scanners ready, because there will be live demonstrations in this session. You can scan it and see how engagement is happening through this tech, or what can happen in this space. So Sourav, over to you to take it forward.
Thank you, Swati. Thank you, Pawan. So it was really nice, in fact, to put up the way like how Pawan presented it. Just a couple of things he has already mentioned, like why keyword code is vital. I would like to ask, I would like to add it over here. When we started up using the internet, I'm just taking you way back to 10-15 years back, when we were starting to use internet, there were limited websites, there were limited content. And we generally, whenever we get a form, exam form or anything, the result part, we used to type everything in the keyboard. So with the increase of the numbers, day by day, the website, the contents, the links are increasing, and there is a chance of mistake, and we are getting lazy now. So the question is like we want everything in a glance, like in fact, everything quickly. Here comes to your rescue the QR code. In fact, the link can be of 4,000 character, 200 characters, any length. If you want your unknown customers, like anybody to come to that portion and reach out to that link, the best way is QR code. We are specifically targeting here the pharma industry. Uh, we, as a consumer, we must have seen a lot of FMCG product, lot of chips, beverages are already having QR code. Those are into big packets also. In fact, those are 1 kg, 2 kg packets. Just imagine the size of the packaging of pharma medicines. Majority of the medicines are into small packages, and there are some interesting facts which has to be there in the packaging, which you guys know better than me. Now the question is, due to the restriction in the size, we generally put up a leaflet inside the packages, which is again an additional cost, and which is generally like we have to put it up and people doesn't read it. That is also into multi-language. That is also like very unreadable in fact. So having a QR code is definitely easy and benefiting into your space management. So when I'm talking about a capsules or a strip of or a bottle, in fact, if you have a QR code and you have substantial information sitting behind that QR code in the link, here comes like, the engagement part. The people, the consumer who are consuming that medicines, they definitely want to know certain things. Like there are a few numbers of people, but yeah, they definitely want to know about the medicines, want to know about the company. So this is the right way of engaging with the audience. With this, let me start sharing my screen. And I would request if anybody, like if you are joined on mobile, it would be difficult for you to scan the QR. But if you have joined it from your laptop, you can easily like have your mobile phone ready handy. I will be talking about the technicalities of the QR code. It may be slight boring in fact, but the question is like having a basic idea of QR code and how to create it will help you out. So my first slide, I just want to make you understand medicine prescriber and medicine consumers are also consuming data. And here we start the sessions for the QR code part. So when you see a QR code, we must have seen, everybody must have seen this type of images into the QR code. There are specifically, these are encrypted images. When I'm saying that the data of these images is not stored anywhere in any database, rather it is stored directly in the images. So there are three major things, which is like, the first circle, the first square, which is the inner eye and the outer eye, and then the position marker. This position marker and the inner eye and outer eye, they provide the scanner with the basic information that where to start the reading. That's it. Then we go to the quiet zone. So these quiet zones are supposed to be there in the QR code, which is basically represented in white color, so that no data is available in this quiet zone. These small dots, black dots, these are called data modules, and all your data, all your encryptions, all your links, everything reside within this data module. The center can be customized with a customized logo. This is non-readable, so you can put your logo inside your QR code, which is personalization or customization. And then here comes your background, the white spaces. So it is something like you can have multiple colors present over there in the background. Now, before going to the next slide, how to generate a QR code? We can go to Google. We can search for QR code generator. You will find many applications are there. Those are all free of cost. You can generate your QR code. I will not be suggesting any particular website or any particular app to generate the QR code, because the activity that a QR code generator do is only and only convert your text, your links, or your input into an image, into an encrypted image. And that is the reason you can use any generator as per your convenience. Suppose I'm going with the first link, in fact. So when I'm going to the first link, these are the different type of QR code. You can put a URL. Suppose I just want to go ahead and put www.google.com. So when I was typing it, you must have seen the images was just see the images was getting changed. So this is something like as and when I'm typing, there are different data points which are getting added into the static QR code. I'm talking about the static QR code at this point. So this is it. So when you have kept the link, you can have a bigger link also, but the QR code is ready. Now you can download it. From here, you can save it or copy the link. And if you scan this, so if anybody is there with the scanner, if they scan this link, this will take them to google.com. So suppose I want to have a video. For an example, I'm just going to YouTube and I will be searching for PharmaState Academy. And we have this video. So I can just go ahead. Okay. And then go to the QR code part, paste it. This is, see, this much of writing of a link will be very difficult for anybody to type it, right? So that is the reason if you want, you can convert it. See, with the number of links, that the QR code got a bit clumsy, in fact. So there are a lot of data into this QR code. Now you will scan this data, it will directly take you to the video of that YouTube channel. Then there is something called as a free text QR code generator. So this free text can be used for anything. You don't want to take it to any link, but yeah, you want to quickly show some vital information through the QR code. Maybe in case of medicine, it can be manufacturing date, the batch number, expiry date, MRP, the SKU, the components, how it works. So if you want to add up any text, you can just go ahead, you can type your text over here, and accordingly, the keyword will result. It will not open any link, but it will give you that text over, like whatever information is present from the free text, it will be provided here. Then there is something called as the contact. So we can share our contact every time when we save a new contact information. We first in our phone, we first write the first name, last name, phone number. These are the three things that we generally keep. But in professional world, we also keep the email ID, alternate phone numbers. We can add multiple things. So if we have somebody created a contact application and a QR code, with a single scan, this all keyword can be converted into a contact information in our phone. The next thing is apps. So if we have any kind of app, mobile applications or anything, so it is something like iOS device will be having the iOS app, iPhone apps, and Play Store will be having the same app in Play Store, Android part. So we can have one single code which can respond accordingly. If you are scanning it from an iOS device, it will be taking you to the App Store. If you are scanning it from an Android device, it will be taking you to the Play Store. Similarly, you can also have a phone number based keyword. You can also have a SMS based keyword. So if you want, you can add a phone number and you can have a messages and you can send it out. So this is a very useful case. So you must have seen as a marketer, there are a lot of brands which say that you can get a cashback of 5 rupees if you send an SMS to this number. So instead of that, what we can do, we can feed the number, we can feed the messages, and the person only need to scan this and send a message directly. So we are making it convenient for the end user. Then there is something called as a dynamic QR. So when you go ahead with a dynamic QR code, what happens is like you can change the link, the images remain same. Just a moment. So if this is the image, suppose consider a brand, you have a brand QR code, and every time you want to update some content. But we know in a static QR code, what happened? Every time whenever we put up some data, the QR code get changed. But what we have an opportunity called dynamic QR code, wherein we map a URL to the QR code and the image does not change in the lifetime. But what happened? If you scan this image, it will take you to MyRx.in. But the moment I want, to change it, I will just do like this. Dot academy. So the question is, now this link will be taking you to the PharmaState.academy part. Right? Okay. So coming back to my presentation, I have some predefined QR code already mentioned over here. So this is the anatomy of the QR code. Then going to the next slide. So suppose you want some website to be opened. You can directly open a website by clicking this QR code. I have just created something. When you click it, you will be taken to the website. So this can be the product microsite, this can be the brand site, this can be any external site, news, article, blogs, anything. Suppose you want to open a YouTube link, you can create it and you can have this YouTube link embedded over here and it will directly take you to the YouTube path. Suppose you want a social media page, like people to visit your social media pages, you can have your QR code generated with your link address. You can click over there and it will take you to the social media pages. Right? Here I have kept it as Facebook. Okay. Going to the next part. Sorry. This is how the free text informations can be utilized. So the question is like this QR code have some free text informations like the batch number, manufacturing date, expiry date, and the MRP. So these are the examples. So when you scan it, it will not take you to anything else, but rather it will ask you to copy the text. So these are the free text one. Then, as I rightly said, like the contact QR. So when you have a contact information, you share your contact details, the name, phone number, alternate phone number, email ID, website, address, and company name. These all things comes as a contact information in your phone. You can directly choose on import contact, and this contact will be added into your contact list. So now I have already explained you dynamic QR codes have short URL embedded in the code. So these are very short URLs which are already embedded with the code. So the code does not change. The URL keep on redirecting and pointing to the newer version of the content that you are creating. So the destination URL can be changed after the QR code has been generated, while the short URL remains the same. So this is the advantage when you have multiple communication you want to establish with the doctor with the brand ABC. So you create a brand ABC QR code. Suppose in the first visit, you want to show them a video. Redirect the short link to the video. In the second visit, you want to show them some microsite or the product efficacy, some case studies, some PMS studies, some journals. You can just redirect according to your visits. The same URL doctor can have it, like doctor can keep it handy. You ensure that the QR code is available with the doctor in a physical format or else a digital format. And the next time the doctor comes over here, he will be getting a fresh content every time. The only thing is like from the back end, you have to, ensure that the content is getting changed. So some of the pharma use cases, these are the quick use cases which I will be taking you up, like what pharma can do on an immediate basis. So something like a team profile or team profile card or a visiting card. So this is something like, majority of the pharma staffs are into the field. Every time there is a vacancy, there is a new person coming in. So sometimes it happens like the visiting cards are not available. We spend our money on the visiting card. We Instead of that, we can create a team profile card, which can be a QR code, which can be in the QR code format. Just for an example, like they can put it up as an ID card, and the next time if he want to share anything, instead of a physical card, he's sharing a QR code. And just imagine, suppose the phone number of the person is getting changed or email ID is getting changed. He has to dump his old cards. There is a loss of money. Instead of that, if it is a digital format, he can change it, and next time onwards, it will be updated with the older like people who have scanned it. So this is one quick things, like your entire team portfolio. What will reside in that? Maybe you can show your hierarchy, you can show your point of contact, you can show your escalation metrics, whatever you want to put it up into the team profiling, whatever you want to keep it public, you can put it, and you can generate a team visiting card or a team profile card. The second thing is the LBLs, the leave behind literatures and leaflets, whatever is there. So you can paste a QR code, keep it simple, keep it readable, multiple. So it is a challenge to have a very, great design into the LBLs to grab attentions. So your LBLs can contain QR code. Those doctors who are really willing to understand the science behind your medicines, they're interested in your brand, they're interested in your company, they can scan it in their convenient time. You don't have to wait for that, and they just scan and gather more informations. You can have much deeper level of engagement once the doctor scans and come down to your product microsites or LBLs or your content part. The third thing is product microsite. You can have multiple contents created. You have microsite created for your product. You can manage that microsite, and that microsite being a static link, you can generate a static QR code, and that static QR code can be printed in your packagings, that can be printed in your giveaways to, like, gifts or anything. And the link, the QR code being the same, the moment you update anything, we can have a mechanism wherein a notification can push to the previous customers that, okay, there has been some update into this microsite. You can have a look into that. The fourth use case, or the fourth area wherein you can do, we know that now doctors, patients, they're consuming social media. There are other restrictions in the social media for pharma, but yeah, being within the jurisdiction or of the legalities in social media, we can post some uh, certain informations. So we can try to engage both our customers and consumers into the social media sharing part. So whenever we put up a video, if we have a QR code already floated it, so we can share, that videos or social media posts to the consumers, in fact. The next challenging thing is a POB booking. Still, now many of the giants, many big companies are also having application, but still the majority of the practice is like that carbon paper is still happening, 2-3 pages, going ahead and booking of the POB. Instead of that, if you are going to a chemist or a pharmacy and you're providing your QR code for your order booking applications, next time onwards, they can have real-time offers, they can have real-time catalogs, real-time price modifications, whatever you have, real-time SKUs, they can book, they can generate the order directly from the QR code, from the applications, and the copy, the notification can come to the head office, to the manager, along with the stockist, whomsoever you want to add it to the list. The next important thing or use case, which I will say, is nearby medicine availability. This is one of the vital things. Yes, a lot of technical things are required to do it. Pharma is already sitting on the data, but yeah, one application which can aggregate, like, which can involve the pharmacist and have a real-time availability of the medicines, that listing can be done, and this nearby availability of the medicine can be shared with the patient as well as the doctor. So once the medicine is prescribed, the patient directly know that, okay, which shop to go, which pharmacist to go, or where to get that medicines. So this can be done with the QR code also. Last but not the least, in fact, doctor's feedback and patient reviews, these all things, if you are willing to take it from the market, you can have a QR code after the detailing or after certain campaigns. You can go ahead with the doctor, with the patients, and you can directly give your multiple forms or simple forms, questions. They can fill it up and you can collect that information. So these are only limited 8 use cases. Opportunity is immense. I would like to see like what pharma marketers are putting up into keyword sections, into the links. So the innovations, I would like sincerely say that keep innovating, keep thinking about it. And in case of any technicalities or anything, we are here. Technology teams are already there. They will be helping you out. But yeah, you are the person who deals in the day-to-day basis prices, and you can see where QR code is fitting into your organization. So thank you. And yeah, this is my QR code. So if you click on this, you scan it, you will directly, it will take you to my keyword. So something like this can be created for your teammate, and it can be shared, and there can be multiple other things which can be put up into this profiling part also. So that's it from my side. And Swati, open to questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Sourav, for taking us through this little tech sort of session where we understand what is all behind QR code, a bit about behind QR code. One very lame question I'll ask also. QR code has to be scanned through camera or special scanners. What is the tech?
What is a tech? So
Yeah.
see, images are already encrypted, Swati. So when that images, suppose you are seeing me in this background, you are educated enough to understand that, okay, I am a male, and you know me, so you also know that my name is Sourav, and you can read that in my background. It is written use of QR code in healthcare, CPHE is there, and PharmaState Academy is written. So you are interpreting something out of an image. But in case of QR, the scanner, the camera, it is already equipped with software to read the exact data which is underlying into the images. So that interpretation, yes.
Yeah. Every phone camera works for this.
Yes,
In fact, earlier the cameras were having, you have to download a scanner and all.
Yes.
Now in future, predominantly your any camera you just open, it will be having a predetermined QR reader. So you have to just stop. If you are just clicking a picture of your or taking a selfie, you have to just put up the QR reader. So all the cameras now coming in 5G and all will probably have the QR code embedded in that.
Thank you, Pawan. That is actually where the customer struggles. So I was also thinking we will have to download some app to scan, but now since you both have made it clear that now the phones are equipped with the single camera, you scan it and then we go to.
In fact, I just want to add. I mean, while Sourav was speaking, I was just seeing his slides and all. Before going to doctors and patients, I feel we should take it to our own employees. I think even the best of the companies today, they struggle. The one of the he mentioned, the first point he mentioned in terms of visiting cards and all. So I think even the best of the companies today struggle. If a new medical rep is joining, the finance doesn't know he has joined, the other backend team doesn't know he has joined, whether they have to send in the new working bag or iPad or a visual aid or no, or samples. The dispatch department doesn't know whether to send a sample. The HR will not know whether he has joined. So there is a lot of chaos in this. So even if this, as a company, as an industry, we make it QR code as this thing, so all the departments can be interlinked with one unit that this person XYZ has joined or left or whatever. So that is something which is internally we need to do before going to doctors and patients.
Yeah, we need to get good at it. Unless we are good at it, we cannot recommend that to be done with doctors or patients, right? Pawan, thank you so much. There are a lot of questions, there are a lot of compliments also coming for this session. Excellent session, linking from the idea of brand launch and visibility on every possible medium on the same day. Do you think when there is a new guidelines launch, doctors can be provided new points in the guidelines, which can be presented to doctors through QR code on the same day with brand reminders? Can be a unique opportunity.
I'll tell you, not same day.
Okay.
The second minute you can send.
Yes.
So understand one thing, what Sourav took in all those parameters, whether you are taking a text, you are taking a URL, you are taking a app, you are talking any characters, right? You just convert it to QR and send it. So QR is not a digital, something which is tech. It is just a bridge. So understand what is a simple meaning, quick response. So it can be quick within 1 second. So somebody, I mean, interesting, very new guidelines which has come. To convert that link or put it on a landing page, put it on a PDF or load it on your website, or you want to give a journal website, anything, you just take it, put it, and you can even brand your QR code.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can put your brand name in between. This is brought to you by XYZ Pharma or XYZ brand. Send it to doctors. So within next second of a publication, it depends on your speed, how fast you can generate a QR code. That is a human this thing. Otherwise, yes. QR code is just a bridge to whatever you can share.
Perfect. So there are questions coming in. I'll take up one interesting question. Dynamic QR codes sounds interesting. This has been asked by Mr. Kunal, I think. One query, if a brand manager creates maybe 10,000 dynamic QR codes with customized content for various doctors, the same QR codes once placed in clinic, is it possible to change the content every month, even if the QR code means that thing is there in the clinic? And right, sort of, can it be done?
Absolutely, yes. But the question is like, who is going to manage the 10,000 keywords? So 10,000 keywords when you're talking about, so you must be having 10,000 brands. So as like the best advice what I can give it, like if you want to place something at the clinic, just have it one keyword per brand. Yeah. Don't even go ahead with the SKUs part also. You can manage it with your internal microsite. But the first thing is like one brand, one keyword. Oh, this is a slogan. I can say it. Like one brand, one keyword. Okay. So what can be done is like every month, every 15 days, you can have your content calendar. See, initially what happens, what I have seen in the industry, out of a curiosity, initially what we do is like we continuously change it and we have that passion in the initial days. But in digital, which I have been continuously preaching and have been saying in my other session, consistency is the key. Do that much. If you can create 10, iterations, just let it be like 15 days. You have it for 5 months. Don't put it all at a glance. So this is one advice. But yeah, with that single QR code, you can just go ahead and change the keywords landing pages, the keyword links, the keyword data. It is 100% doable.
Thank you. Thank you, Sourav. Again, a question which is more of a logistical question. As every medical rep is asking doctor to scan the information nowadays. So it is about, bombarding the doctors with the QR codes. Now, doctor is confused which QR codes to scan and not. Is it getting as mundane as every MR is asking physicians to prescribe? What is the, how can we differentiate on what is the basis on which we can ask the QR doctors to scan the QR code?
This is really good, in fact. I am sharing my viewpoint. Pawanji, I will be requesting you to share your part also. So when I am talking about bombarding, I will just say it as spamming. If PharmaState is sending me 10 mails and I'm interested in the mails, I will not be seeing or looking it as bombarding or spamming. But if it is not of my subject matter, I will definitely see that, yes, they are spamming me, I can block it. The question is, when COVID started, majority of the companies started bombarding messages on WhatsApp, social media to the doctors. Doctors, those who were liking it, were keeping it. Those who were not liking it, they were blocking it. But as a pharma company, we should have a social responsibility and a content calendar being driven by as a policy. Technology alone cannot do anything if you don't have a policy in place. So that policy should be there, which needed to be followed by the sales representative, that you are not going to, again and again pitch upon the same thing that doctor, please scan my keyword, please scan my keyword. Don't do it. Silently, if you're putting up a sample, you're giving a gift, you're putting a LBL, just put that keyword code. The remaining thing, the technology guys can do it. Be assured, if the doctor is reading it, I can tell you that doctor has read it. Like, it can be tracked. When the doctor has read it, how much time he dedicated it, these all things can be tracked. And if after certain days, you understand, like you have a group of doctors. Out of 100, suppose 20% are responding to QR code, you understand that you are going to engage with this 20 of the doctors through QR. The remaining all of them just slowly reduce the frequency of the QR. So this is my outcome. Don't bombard it. It should be like we should keep ourselves in the doctor's spot. If everybody, every shop owner or everyone who is coming up saying that scan this QR code, scan this QR code, we will also get irritated. So responsibility lies within the organization. Pawanji, yeah.
I think let me be a little bit sarcastic here. We in pharma have a typical tendency. One, we are very late in things, in adapting to something new. And if some good company has brought up something new, 50 other companies will come with the same thing, same system in the next 1 week. So naturally, your doctor is getting irritated. It's not because he is not interested. It is because you are making him irritated. You are not interesting enough. So first and foremost, that is why I told, why is the need of QR? Now, that doesn't mean that all the audience who is listening here sit and plan, put their Q2 planning. I'll put QR code and suddenly all the, the product packaging departments of all the companies suddenly start getting request of QR code dalna. Karna kya hai? I mean, why you want to put it? Is it really necessary? What is the purpose? So unnecessarily, it's like patient education. In physical world, I would relate it to like patient education. Now, every brand plan in last 20 years or any companies, many of the students who have become brand managers, they come. One common thing is patient education. Bhai, let me tell you, patient want solution. They don't want education. You educate them only where they want it. For anything and everything, there is no idea, patient education leaflets and all. And I see these leaflets and bunch of it put on a shoe rack outside the doctor's chamber. The same thing will happen with this as well. So if you don't have a purpose and a meaning to what is a QR code, and that is why that statement I made, what is behind the code is more important. If I tell you, keep telling you the same joke again and again and again, first time you'll laugh, second time you'll get bored, and third time you'll not, probably you'll slap me. The same thing happens. If you are giving a QR code and keeping the same image, same landing page, same content for years together, nobody will be bothered. You have anything which is like one example I gave, like even he told, first scan you are, in dynamic it is possible. First scan you are showing a video, second scan you are showing the information, third scan you are giving an update, fourth scan. So that is traceable and trackable. So that is where pharma brand managers has to evolve and come out of the chit pad, pens and table reminders.
Thank you, Pawan and Sourav, for making this point very clear. QR code is just a medium, just a way to engage. It is not related to what strategies you are creating. QR code can't be a strategy as such. So you have to be very innovative in how you put. And I think Pawan in his slide deck also gave very interesting ideas how you are going to, put a story behind something. Doctors will obviously love something out of the box. If you are also showing product, everyone is showing.
Anybody using idea, please send. I'll send my bill. So
yeah. So Pawan, but that was great idea, and contraindications are very important. What not to do is very important related to medicines. So some person who has to swallow the pill may be chewing it. So important is how you put the information, what important information is being put there. And if patient finds or the consumer or customer finds it relevant, he will again scan your QR code.
Yeah, relevance in terms, let me be, if somebody is having a broken bone or you're talking about a fracture or anything, don't make a QR code and complicate and explaining him what is tibia and femur and how many tendons are there. Nobody is interested. So don't do that.
Right. One important question, Pawan, and sort of this is important. If you have any idea how law and regulations view QR code or digitization of medical information aimed to doctors. Example, pack insert, hardcore medical information has to be there, and it needs to be printed in printed form only. So any law regulation thing, if you are aware about, please share with us.
See, I don't think there is any printed regulations. Yes, there are. I think if I'm right, the first 4 years of the launch, you need to have a pack insert. If it is a more than 4-year-old, it doesn't require as per the DCGI. Correct me if I'm wrong. Other aspects is many of the companies are giving QR codes right now, or some codes which will link it to their site or some place where they can find the pack insert. So there also it is possible. See, again, understand, QR code is not a new software or anything. It is just a quick response. Instead of giving a whole lot of text, whole lot of photographs, whole lot of address, database, like what, doctor email ID and all, phone number, everything. So you are just easily making it one point to get the information. So it is something, a medium. It is just a bridge. How creatively you use it and how sensibly you make it engaging for the patient, that makes a lot of difference. The rest all is just a QR code. You can create it for anything. You can just type your name and create a QR code, but you send it to somebody, you just see your name. What will he do?
Okay. I hope the person who asked us is satisfied. Still, we will try to get more information as it comes through. There is a very good comment from Mr. Manoj Kumar. In pharmaceuticals in India, it's mainly a mindset issue in adopting technology. While the decision makers do not understand technology and the tech-savvy team does not have the liberty to decide, as you put it also, Pawan. The pharmaceutical industry in UK, US, and other countries has already adopted technology to provide real-time update to doctors, pharmacists, and other healthcare teams also. And they can be game changer. QR codes can be game changer. He hopes that it helps pharmaceuticals embrace technology. Thank you, Mr. Manoj. And great comments.
In fact, don't blame the pharma companies. It is the job of a marketing team and brand managers to change the landing pages, or else you keep telling the same joke again and again. Doctors will stop coming on that page.
Okay, there's a question again coming up from Miss Manjul Tripathi. How safe are QR codes? Because in any way, QR codes are taking us to a website or any link. The website could be a phishing site. How a common person will get to know just by looking at QR code?
Sourav?
That is a very good question. So the question, so it can be. So QR code, when you are scanning it, when you are entering into any link, it is just like you get a WhatsApp link, a message, and you click on the link. It is upon the customer behavior and customer awareness which is going to be the game changer. So here, what I would like to say that if you are aware enough that something is coming from safer things, you can have that logo over there. So logo is definitely associated with the trust, so that nobody else. Yeah, there can be phishing attack with the logo, so somebody else can create a keyword code and go over there. You should be visible. You should be aware that something is coming over there, and you can at least try to report it. Report it in the sense means it can be a cyber crime, it can be misleading informations or anything. But yeah, you can have your keyword database. In fact, if suppose you are creating a page, whatever keywords are there, you can put it over there in the public domain that these are the only keywords which we are authenticating, something like that. But the question is, the answer is yes. The QR codes can because we as an individual, we cannot interpret the keyword. We are not the scanner, right? And our eyes cannot, we don't have that knowledge of interpreting what is there inside. We have to scan it to go there. So once we scan it, we can see the link, whether that link is a genuine link or not, and then we can decide upon it. But the chances is there, definitely there. Some phishing can happen.
Thank you, Sourav. It happens with every technology, not only QR. Yeah, Pawan, you were saying something.
Yeah, there is one comment from Mr. Ajay Khurana saying he sent a direct message. A lot of frauds have been conducted through QR codes, how to induce confidence. Now, I want to correlate that question to here. See, technically, frauds have not been initiated after the digital stuff has come. Frauds were happening even before. It will keep happening. And it will keep on happening further. So one of the areas is how well you are policy driven, how well your content is authentic. There we don't have any control. Yes, the part question which you asked, Swati, from someone, that you go to a restaurant, you order a food on the QR code. So whole lot of system can be put in, what all you order, how much you ate, everything. Now, a couple of times you go to the same place like your Starbucks or any places where you are ordering, they can track you what is your favorite coffee and what time you drink and what time you, how much you drink and what is the frequency. Based on that, they can even predict their sales for next 5 years. So there are thousands of people doing this. So once any QR code or link or anything, once you're putting it, entire ecosystem of tracking is coming in between you and the product. More important, it's not just QR code. Boss, all of you are being tracked day in and day out, every second by Google. What are we doing with it? We are still doing what we are doing. So there is nothing as such. Additionally, I just want to mention what I think we missed is Brilliant uses something called as UTM code. I don't know how many of you know it is. It is urchin tracking monitoring. So if you are pressing a link or a QR code, that can be a part of it. And when you go, when I do this most of the times, if somebody is coming on my landing page, I know from where he has come. Whether he has come from a WhatsApp click, whether he has come from a Facebook click, whether he has come from a general link or my LinkedIn page, which page. So UTM code can be generated and it can be imbibed in your QR code as well. So that is a brilliant place. I mean, if you are sending out, like somebody was telling, 10,000 QR codes have been sent out. Now, if your 500 medical reps are sending to 100 doctors each, 5,000 doctors are so many, they are either being reached by email or letter or magazine or LBL. So you can actually track how many doctors came from scanning the LBL, how many doctors came from scanning the WhatsApp, how many doctors clicked your Facebook link, all these. So there are multiple usages which are very creative and engaging. Yes, frauds will happen, keep on happening. So that is something which, it can happen without QR code also. It can happen with link also.
See, counterfeit medicine is one very important example of.
That's the biggest thing. Nobody is doing
thing, that is where our concern should be, that the quality of the drug should be better. The counterfeit drug.
In fact, that was the very reason me and Sourav had decided that QR code predominantly is understood by pharma to avoid counterfeit. So we never discussed any counterfeit part until now. Because aaj tak, abhi tak, jo bhi QR code, barcode, whatever is being used, it is only perception, counterfeit track kare. Nobody is bothered. So that is what the reason, that one reason which is commonly perceived, we have never discussed that.
Right. And just a small experience I would like to share was finding few company websites, trying to find company websites, see what is in there. And I'll tell you, there are many big company websites also where the first search is not going to a original website, it is going to a fake website. So company people should be updating their websites, and they should be aware about where the Google search is landing the people to. So there also we are lacking in the basics, that your company websites do not have the HTTPS thing with you. So there are hacking. So, you have to utilize the technology in the better way, and let the better sense prevail there. There are many questions.
Swati, I would like to add it over here, like the submission over here, being a technology person. See, as we are into the ethical market, see, we in technology also believe in ethical and unethical part. We are the creator of technologies, in fact. We know how to hack it, but we don't do it out of a social responsibility. The question is like, see the volume of the keyword tracking with the payment system, UPI system in India. There are frauds happening with OLX, happening with Paytm, happening with any of these things. Like when QR code came, there were like fake apps which were coming up. Government is taking lucrative measures. We, as a technology partner, we are also trying to educate people, and we have some certain limits in fact. But yeah, restricting ourselves from creating a content just by sitting on the edge of the ocean doesn't fulfill our goal. We need to create that content. Just go over there. If something happens, we can have a damage control mechanism. We can have that risk mitigation plan wherein ahead of doing anything. So that SDFC example with Manoj Kumar, Mr. Manoj Kumar, yeah. So I have already seen that. So there are a lot of phishing sites, in fact, SBI, online SBI, and ditto, you will not be able. And once you are giving your user ID and password, your money is getting debited. Khatam, that's it. So the question is, it is supposed to happen. But yeah, big companies like Google, Facebook, along with the government, big service companies, security companies are there. They're trying to do a lot. So I only hope that, okay, a day will come when we will not be encountering any of these fakes or any of these scams or any of these hacks. But I don't think that it will come in my lifetime.
In fact, I would love to, the kind of questions which are coming, I would always suggest, remember that formula which I remember for myself, UP at MP. So QR code is a basic this thing. So you understand the process, whichever may be process. Somebody asked about the question, can chemist order your medicines from your stockers? Sourav made a very good point. Order booking, that bulky book which is given with 3 color pages, it is in the practice. So can't we shift it to this thing, a QR code? So it is just a book. We understood the process. The medical rep goes to a chemist, he takes the order, he clicks it, blah, 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 and send it to the nearest stockist. If I would have been, I just thought of that. So understanding the process, add tech and minimize the process. So put that QR code. So can we do a QR code wherein any chemist, any MR can go there and open it on his mobile, and the chemist just clicks it? Just a random thought which is just crossing my mind right now. Just clicks it and नीचे आएगा उसी portal पे नीचे उसका nearest stockist जो by geolocation it can be done. It can be geotagged कि one stockist is very far and one nearest. He can even click. He can just auto sign it and send it. So your POB is done. So instead of at the end of the month, managers running around how much POB his reps have done, compiling, sending, email, waste of time, unnecessary human time pass. So you can just click on that QR code, click, and you get the data at the end of the day, who has done how much of POB and what is the estimate. So, I mean, yes. UP at MP, understand the process, add tech, minimize the process. That's it. Whichever process you see, and make sure that process is important.
Thank you. Thank you, Pawan. Made it very simple to understand. There are 2 questions I'll take, and then we can go with the quiz winners also, because there was a quiz which we held for this use of QR code session, and we'll announce the winners also. One question from Mr. Amaninder Dhillon: how do you ensure HIPAA compliance of data captured, personal identifiers? Can company keep that on their server? So
question is, so when you're talking about HIPAA compliance, when we are dealing with patient data, doctor data, medical data, HIPAA compliance is one very important factor. But please try to understand, we are talking about QR codes. QR code is an access way, it's actually access system. Instead of typing, you are scanning something and you are landing on the page. When you are landing on that page, it is residing on a server. That server need to be HIPAA compliant. And when you are posting your data or content, just make sure your server hosting partner, your data center, is having a HIPAA compliance. That's it. So QR is not responsible for HIPAA compliance. QR, you give anything, it will show you in a code format. But yeah, be at least glad to hear HIPAA compliance from pharma industry. This is something which is coming up in the coming times. We will also be seeing Indians GDPR compliance and other compliances coming up into picture when we have a strong governance policy. IT department, Ministry of IT is working towards it. And definitely we will be seeing something in very, very soon, in fact. But yeah, at this point of time, make sure whatever, like there will be many hosting providers who will be coming and giving you create a website, we will take you and you can do it in $500, $200. But major thing that comes into the security, into the storage, into the compliance. So please choose your hosting partner very wisely and just make sure there are some checklists for the pharma, whether it is getting fulfilled by the hosting partner or not. Not only that, if you are using some platform to share your data, it can be any of the platform where you are giving any interviews or anything. Just make sure if you are putting up any kind of patient information over there, make sure that company's database is HIPAA compliant or not. That server, so like hosting partner is HIPAA compliant or not.
Thank you, Sourav. That was very clearly explained, and I hope this question needed to be answered in this session. Pawan.
There is one question which I just So thought and idea again, how can we ensure a new product availability? This is the biggest challenge today with any company, be it a big company or a small company. Whenever there is a launch, you don't know. And there is an additional this thing, how well you pass on the bonus offer benefits to further. This was even tried by many companies. A medical rep may not be able to reach out to that many chemists as fast, as a stockist can reach. So you can request a stockist. I don't know. It was done earlier with a small note, like a telegram note on the each of the bill. This brand is having this kind of a benefit. So if you can tie up with your stockist or anything which is going with, who are more regular to your chemist, and put a QR code with all the list of brands which are new launches or bonus offer, you can take him to the landing page where he just clicks and order auto generates. So it saves a lot of time and benefits the medical rep. It will not replace, it will help the medical rep sell more. And your medical rep can also be integrated that these many number of chemists have been made available, which he might not be able to run around with hundreds of physical. But this, all these things which I'm giving is, many of the times, many of you people might say it is a wishful thinking, but yes, sooner or later, whether we deny it, we dislike it, it will happen. And just like SFE system and online reporting system in medical reps, many of the companies denied and all, but ultimately they adopted to it. So the same thing is going to happen with digital and all. So you say no now, sooner or later, some or the other way, it'll put its tentacles on you.
Rather, I would say, Pawan, saying no is the first step to getting to yes. So,
yeah.
So they resist, and then happen that, okay, we will have to do that. One last question to Sourav. This is a technical question also. And there are many technical queries, dear participants, which I'm not able to take in this session. But for all the technical queries, you can connect with us. You can connect with Sourav directly and get its services on this tech, related to this tech. Get your plans, get your strategies implemented utilizing MyRx platform. They are good in that, and highly skilled in the tech part of QR code and everything. The question to you is, can you please elaborate on the process of how patient gets to know availability of products in his vicinity through QR code? Can this happen, Sourav?
Swati, please come again. I just lost your voice.
The question is, can you please elaborate on the process of how patient gets to know availability of products in his vicinity through QR code? Is something happening in this space? Patient gets to know the availability of products.
Yeah. So there are some companies, in fact, which I know, and there are some chain of pharmacies. In fact, they already put up this availability in the when you are going ahead with the e-commerce part. Suppose Apollo Pharmacy, they already have a e-commerce platform already there in the place, and when you search for a medications, they can get the data from the backend, like what is the quantity available at what place. So similar kind of process can be created into the pharma. So now with online pharmacies in place, local pharmacies in place, there are companies I know who are doing it. But yeah, this has to be a project-oriented approach, and it is doable. It is not it is nothing like it cannot be done. But yeah, it is doable. But it required technology support. It required application.
Yeah. Thank you, Sourav, for answering the questions. Really sorry for not taking up many questions this time. Let us see first of all, the people who won at this tech in pharma session quiz that we created. So Satish, can we have the names of quiz winners? So we held that. I hope many people participated in this competition. And the winners are rank 1, Mr. Gagan Maurya, rank 2, Anupam Mishra, and rank 3, Rutuja Chogale. Many congratulations. Keep participating and you will receive your certificates, and keep bettering your scores also. So for everyone, please re-participate if possible and see what information you get from these quizzes. Thank you so much. And yes, with our speakers, you can connect with them anytime. I'll send the details in WhatsApp groups also, so you can connect with Mr. Pawan Kulkarni and also follow his Twitter handle, @Pawan Kulkarni. So with Sourav, we will, those who want to ask question, who want to get the technical support, they can ask us in the group also, or personally also, and we will connect them to you. Thank you for attending this session. We will be sending a feedback form also. Please give us the feedback, suggest us topics, as this one also came from you, and we were able to get speakers who threw good amount of light on the topic.
Is Vivek sir around?
Yeah, Vivek sir, if you are there, please.
He's left, I think.
Yeah,
I think he left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will have to get the parting comments also. Mr. Pawan, inviting you to please tell us what you think in a crisp, brief way about 𝐂𝐞𝐽𝐿.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining on a Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. And Sourav, anything you would like to speak before we end?
No, that's perfectly fine, Swati. So this was been really good to have such an audience on Sunday, and that too after work from office has already started. So thank you very much. And if you require any kind of support, if you have any kind of ideas also, being a technology company, we also seek for different ideas. So you are the people who are having, your pain areas. We can create technologies. If you have any pain ideas or, any pain areas, or you want to innovate something, please connect to us. We can see like those things can be created or not. Yeah, we will be happy to have some ideas in the pool. So QR code, whatever we said, apart from the counterfeiting part, everything is into seeing into the current scenario. Lot of things has to be innovative. Please, if possible, Swati, you can share some groups or common thing wherein people can put up anything they want to have it in QR, and we can at least know that what to cover in the next session if possible.
Sure. Sure, sir. So we have the feedback form also. So there, I'll request the participants to please fill up the feedback form so that we can get more sessions or more question and answers for you. Thank you, Pawan, for being with us. Thank you, Sourav, for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Satish.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Satish.
And thank you all the participants for putting up great questions and listening to this session. We'll bring more to you.
Yes. So happy Sunday. And we have posted the feedback link in the chat box. You can just click over that and move out of the session and fill that, please. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely Sunday.